Why are we all still here thousands of years later? Why are we all sitting here as Jewish people? You know, the people who are ancestors, some our grandparents or great-grandparents, they had it a lot tougher than we've got it. And they got through it, and we're all here today. And I think we have to show the same fight. I think we have to show the same resilience. I think we have to accept that this fight is quite nasty. It's going to be attritional. It's not going to be easy. We're going to have setbacks. We have to fight like Jewish people before us have fought, and we'll fight our way through it, and we'll get to better days. Hi, good morning.
Good morning. How do you find this event up until now?
It's been a wonderful event, truly wonderful, brilliantly organized, fascinating sessions. If you go to a lot of conferences, you know they can be of very different standards, and this one has been of the highest standard.
Yeah.
How frequently do you visit Israel?
Beg your pardon?
How frequently, if so, do you visit Israel?
A couple of times a year, probably. Oh. Yeah, I think this is our third trip since October the 7th. We have quite a lot of family here and some business interest here, so yeah, we come regularly.
You used to be a gatekeeper at the BBC, and you moved to the other side. Can you tell us about this transit? How was it like moving from different angles of the industry?
Yeah, so in some ways the same, in some ways very different. I was responsible for about 3,000 people at the BBC. I was in charge of all of the networks, the production, the green lighting. So very different, but in one sense very similar in the job I did there and the job I do now. It's both about trying to identify really, really high quality content that you think will appeal to lots and lots of people, and giving people the resources and the support to make that content, films, TV, theatre, as good as it possibly can be. So there are some crossovers and some things that are very different.
And what do you seek for? What makes you, you know, tick? Yeah.
I think I've always looked for the sweet spot between very, very high quality and something that's going to appeal to the mainstream. I'm less interested in doing things which are really high quality and people don't want to watch. And I'm less interested also in making things that lots of people watch that aren't high quality. And it's really, really hard to hit that sweet spot. You don't always achieve it. You know, every so often you can achieve it, but that's always what I'm targeting.
Mm-hmm. Do you know if there's like a formula? I mean, is there a way to crack it?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, take scripts, for example. You know, I think over time, hopefully, I've come to understand and recognize high-quality writing, high-quality storytelling. Of course, there are different formulas. There are different structures to television and different structures to film. And more than anything, it's who you work with. More than anything, it's the quality of people you work with which defines your own success.
Maybe you can give us an example from your days in the BBC, something that especially caught your eye?
Well, one of probably the shows that have endured the longest since I was there was a drama series called Call the Midwife, which has run for about, 10, 12 seasons in prime time on BBC One. Two things probably stood out for me about it at the beginning. One, the quality of the writing, very high quality storytelling. The second thing was that it took us into a world which we didn't really explore as much in the UK, 1950s, the history of the 1950s in the UK. And it's a period, certainly in the UK and I think a lot of Europe, where it's an in-between period between the Second World War and all the change that the 60s brought. So the 1950s is often underexplored, I think, in UK culture and storytelling, and that was also something that appealed to me.
Mm-hmm. What motivated you? What motivated your shift from public broadcasting to a role in, focused on investment and
like the most
innovation? I wrote it. Very good. Innovation and strategic growth within the entertainment sector.
I think I was just ready for a change. I'd been at the BBC 8 or so years. I'd been at Channel 4 about the same amount, about 7 or 8 years before that. And I think I was ready to do something different. There was no other jobs at the BBC I wanted to do. So I think I was ready for a new challenge. I'm a big believer you need to keep challenging yourself, you need to keep learning things, you need to keep pushing yourself in those kinds of ways. And I wanted to really stretch myself again and learn a lot of new things and have to feel nervous about my work again and feel like I had a lot to learn and educate myself on.
one of your investments is here in Israel in Reshet 13? Reshet
Yes,
13?
yes. My boss, Len Blavatnik, he invested in that before I joined the company directly, yes. But he was involved with Channel 10 and then the Reshet merger, and I've been involved since I joined Len, yes.
Both Channel 10 and Reshet had like a history of instability, trying hard to make it through ratings.
I think especially they had, it was very hard for them to do drama, like scripted drama,
Yes.
original drama. And is that where you come into to the picture? Do you have like a vision you see for that channel, or it's just like
One of the
a side
investments.
investment?
The first thing to say, really importantly, is I'm on the board of Reshet, but there's a terrific team led by Emiliano that runs Reshet. So it shouldn't be for me to define exactly what the channel makes and what it green lights and so on and so forth. We've had some great drama. We've had Red Skies, as you know, terrific series. Daniel's here today,
Yeah.
Daniel Shinar. Really, really good, high quality. Daniel, as you know, wrote with Ron Leshem and a couple of other people. Brilliant directing, great performances. So that's one in the drama area we're really, really proud of on Reshet, and hope that we'll be able to reproduce in the future. But we've had some very bright spots as well, like Red Skies.
You're also investing in A24, one of, I think, the most innovative studios in Hollywood right now. So what was the strategic thinking behind acquiring an art house company like A24?
Well, we have a small stake in A24. Who wouldn't want one? It's
Sorry?
probably the way I'd put it. Who wouldn't want a stake in A24 if they're
Right
willing
now,
to
of
sell
course.
you one? Yeah. So they are brilliant filmmakers. They have exceptional taste. They understand how to make money on films by doing a different kind of more social media and digital-based marketing rather than big billboards and TV adverts. They're lovely people. So when you combine that level of skill with their very high quality as individuals, it's a privilege to work with them. I really enjoy working with them. We've made a lot of films with them.
Yeah.
Just a second before that, but I know what you want to ask. But was there something specific that caught your eye in A24?
well,
I mean,
the-
did you see Hereditary and you say, no, I got to invest in this one?
You just have to watch their work.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you watch their movies, if you see the success of their movies, if you meet them and you spend time talking about their vision for the future of the company and what they want to achieve, they've achieved a lot, but they're very, very ambitious to do a lot more. They're great partners to have. And we have, a number of different relationships. We have an equity investment. We also invest in individual movies with them. So we have a multi-pronged relationship, which is terrific.
Which brings us to the Zone of Interest, which is a film, wonderful film. I think it's one of the most powerful film experiences for Jews, I think, and Israelis. And some Israelis tended to look at it not as a movie about Second World War, but their lives here. And I wonder what you think about this observation.
So I became determined to be involved with the film when John Glazer and his producer Jim, showed me some photographs from the garden that the Hoss family lived in. And the way the family took their photographs, they took the photographs facing away from the walls of Auschwitz so that you didn't know that Auschwitz was in the background. And when you see a picture like that of a happy family, parents, children, in a beautiful garden, and it's explained to you that behind the lens is the smoke and horror of Auschwitz, I think I was on board then. And then when I read the script, it was truly, I've read thousands of scripts probably now, probably the best script I've probably read so far. The precision of the writing, the vision, the courage to take the approach John took, that you don't go over the walls into the camp.
The use
staggering.
of sound.
Yeah, the sound, but you don't get off the page in the same way. So there's so much that John did in the edit that made that film come together in the way it was. And I think even for us as producers, executive producers, until John laid the sound onto the pictures late on in the edit, we didn't really even ourselves, he knew because he had this extraordinary vision. I didn't know myself quite how extraordinary it would be, because the sound edit was laid on later in the cutting room process. So it's a magnificent piece of work, and I hope will always be remembered as one of the great films about the Holocaust.
Yeah, I just remember the scene when the wife shows her mother the garden that you were talking about, and she hears the scream from
afar.
Yeah,
Not
from
so
afar.
far.
Das ist die Kartoffel.
So we built the garden. The house we filmed in backed onto Auschwitz and was about 150 meters from the real house that the Hoss family lived in. And we renovated, obviously, the inside to make it look period. But the garden we recreated. The house itself looks onto Auschwitz that we filmed in.
Wow. But giving the film's Jewish dimension, did you feel compelled to invest in it? Was this something?
Yes. I've always been very interested in what happened in the 30s and 40s. I've read a lot about it, always trying to seek out the roots of it, which I think are in some ways impossible to determine and define. So yes, and also Len Blavatnik, we both care a lot about the Holocaust and the safety and security of Jewish people. And so he was an enthusiastic backer of the film as well, and wanted to be on board.
Mm-hmm. Now the movie is known for the quality of the movie, but also because of the speech Jonathan Glazer gave. And we wanted to ask you about that speech and what was your feelings towards it.
Yeah. So on the night, I actually didn't even hear it. We just won an Oscar. We were all celebrating in the audience.
Fair enough.
So when it happened, I didn't really take it in. And it was only later that someone told me about, what had been said, and I heard it specifically, and I read the quotes. It's not a surprise. People know I was the only one, I think, on the team to speak out against what he said. And I respected and recognized the brilliance of the film. And for me, that's always the priority, the quality of the work. People won't remember what John said after the Oscars for very long. People, I hope, will remember and watch that film for many, many decades. But I did. I'd started speaking out about anti-Jewish prejudice and what had been going on, and October the 7th, it would have been, I think, hypocritical of me not to say something then if I was speaking up about lots of other issues and then something like that, and I just stayed quiet. So I did a podcast with Yonit, you'll all know Yonit Levy, and Jonathan Friedland. I went on their podcast, and that gave me the opportunity. I was actually going to go on anyway to talk about it and explain how I felt about it.
Did you talk to Jonathan Glazer afterwards, personally?
I prefer not to talk about that. But yeah, he knows what I think, I know what he thinks, and that's probably enough.
I think it concerns many Israeli TV and film creators regarding their stance in the world, their chances to do something in the world at this era. And I wonder what you think about it.
Yeah, so if I may, I'll say...
But don't sugarcoat it, please.
Yeah, well, no, if I may, I'll repeat something I said yesterday at the session. If we... why are we all still here thousands of years later, okay? Why are we here? Why are we all sitting here as Jewish people? There's a number of reasons. There's our courage, there's our resilience, there's our creativity, there's our hard work, there's our culture of family and education, there's our determination, there's our intelligence. And we've got through thousands of years. And we've got to keep showing it. The people who are ancestors, some our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they had it a lot tougher than we've got it. This situation is really bad, but they had it a lot tougher. And they got through it, and we're all here today. And I think we have to show the same fight. I think we have to show the same resilience. I think we have to accept that this fight is quite nasty. It's going to be attritional. It's not going to be easy. We're going to have setbacks. But for me, the way I see it is, we have to fight like Jewish people before us have fought, and we'll use those skills and those characteristics, and we'll fight our way through it, and we'll get to better days. And for me, that's how we should all think about it, even at the moments where it feels the darkest.
Does this changes your perspective or point of view towards the industry?
I think probably, I can't speak for Israelis, but I'm sure it's true of Israelis. I think as British Jews, for my wife and I, our lives have changed a lot since October the 7th, and I don't think they'll be the same again. I mean, I think it's as simple as that. We've seen things we didn't know were there, upsetting, sad, horrifying things. Our social world has got smaller, but at the same time, we've made some new friends. So, that swings and roundabouts of that. But I think we have an even stronger sense of our Jewish identity. We're even more passionate Zionists. We believe in Israel and its right to exist, and we'll fight for it.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry about this quick shift,
Yeah.
but can we talk a little bit about gaming?
Yes.
What's the appeal?
I knew that would be the next. I knew that would be the next
to
question.
Gaming, just like that.
It was the obvious next question.
Yeah. So, but we had it here. And
Yeah.
We gotta ask about it because lots of TV people are feel threatened by, I think, the appeal that the gaming world has towards young people, towards even people our age. How do you see it? Why did you choose to invest in it also as know your enemy, or is something that you really believe in?
The world was a lot simpler when I started working in television. There were less channels, there were no iPhones, it was a lot easier to hold people's attention, there were far less distractions. And the reality now is there's so many different things people do with their time, whether that's the things we've grown up loving, TV and film, or social media for all its ills and faults. People spend a lot of time on it, to gaming. My company invested in lots of different types of content, and because we're entrepreneurial and we like to invest in different areas of content and entertainment, that's why we do it. Our most successful investment actually in there has an Israeli founder, an amazing man called Lior Schiff. He was in 8200. And it's an investment we have in his company, which is now a multi-billion-dollar revenue company. So again, it's a great example of Israeli ingenuity. Actually, I think the astonishing skills that people in this country have from being in the army and what that gives them in those early days of their life. So we're not only investing in gaming, we have a big business with an Israeli founder in that area that we're very proud of. The company's called Triple Studios.
Also, how does when people say cross-platform, it usually sounds like a buzzword. Yeah. But you truly believe in it, right? Or at least
I don't know. I think often strategy is what people tell each other later that they did. And often you follow your instincts. You work with the right people, and sometimes you have success, and sometimes you don't. And sometimes you can draw the picture together and say it was strategy. Maybe other people are better than me, but that's always often, I think, been the reality. I don't know whether it's as much cross-platform as we believe in lots of different types of entertainment, lots of different types of content. We've opened in London an immersive entertainment venue called Lightroom. The first show we did there was with Sir David Hockney.
I saw that. That was amazing.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. And he, an absolute privilege to work with David Hockney on that. And then the second show we did there was with Tom Hanks on the moon landings. So we're just very interested in exploring different ways people can be entertained, whether that's TV, film, gaming, social media, YouTube, immersive entertainment like the shows we did with David and Tom. We're just, we're interested in where entertainment may take us, and we're very cognizant of the fact that it will take us to lots of different places, and people naturally have lots of different kinds of experiences now.
Danny Cohen, thank you so much for a
Pleasure.
lovely conversation.
This was fascinating. Thank you so much.
Fascinating.